Somebody told me about theater acting that it's like you plan your day so that when you're on that stage, you are all the way up and your energy's all the way up, and you can really like amplify that energy toward the audience. Versus TV acting, I was told you got to sort of keep a steady energy so you don't blow it all like on the first take and then run out of energy. It seems like what you do with SNL is a it's kind of a hybrid of theater and television. So how do you sort of manage your energy for that kind of performance?
I mean, like the legendary Tracy Morgan used to always say, "Don't peek at dress." You know what I'm saying? You don't want to peek at don't peek at dress because that's
I
not
can
where the
hear him
W is.
saying that.
You know what I mean?
Oh
And
my
it's
gosh.
real because yes, dress rehearsal is kind of like the decision maker as far as like what's going to go into the show. But if your best
Mm.
performance isn't seen, it doesn't really do you any sort of advantage or whatever. So you try to keep that in the back of your mind. And yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You try to save as much energy on Saturday because we're not really taping on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So you can kind of save it up until dress rehearsal and live show or whatever. But during the week, especially on Friday when we're pre-taping, it's like, yeah, you got to, give performances on those takes. And, I've, I mean, even on Wednesday at the table read, people are performing full out. You know what I mean? Like I watched Will Ferrell like blow his voice out because he was doing this reading about a pre-tape that they were doing where he was sneezing the whole time. And it was really funny, but he was like really loudly sneezing while they were trying to do like a commercial for like an allergy drug or something like that.
Uh-huh.
He was like disrupting all the dialogue. But yeah, he blew his voice out like on Wednesday, and then they had to actually shoot it on Friday for like hours and hours and hours. So by the time Saturday came around, he was super hoarse. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is like, Will Ferrell, one of the comedy gods kind of thing. So like it was very like apparent that we're all very human, you know what I mean? And like it was a lesson. It's like, man, they're like you want to go for it 1,000% to make sure it gets sold in people's minds or whatever. But when it counts and you're sounding all hoarse and you're struggling through it or whatever, like is that fair? Is that fair to him? Is that fair to the writing? Is that fair, you know what I mean, to the audience? Like it's tough, like he's the kind of person that wants to give as opposed to like taking care of himself kind of thing. And you got to find that balance, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a humble guy, so he doesn't want to take a lot of praise. He would rather give praise, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, yo, you do a lot for the world, you bring a lot of joy, and you have to take care of yourself so you can give us our joy the right way, selfishly. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to
Yeah.
hear his voice cracking.
Yeah.
But doesn't seem like anybody can throw you off your game because you are so consistently like people will be buzzing around. There'll be a scene. It'll be like I don't Black Jeopardy. You will do the one you just with Kiki Palmer, Kenan and Kelly that was
It's so
freaking hilarious,
good.
and you always keep your energy right where it should be. Has anybody ever been able to like knock you off your game in that way?
I mean, I don't know if they've been able to like necessarily knock me off my game. I mean, shout out to Kiki because that Kenan and Kelly was special. And that was
Oh, that was
that was her idea. It was amazing.
amazing. That was her
But I
idea.
Yeah. And I mean, she, basically was like, I got an idea, Kenan and Kelly. And I was like, say no more, basically. So we, it wasn't a full
Oh my god.
discussion in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew exactly what that was as soon as she said it. You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
wondering like if they were gonna like put it on the show, you know what I mean? Because things have to be done a certain kind of way for it to fit the taste buds of an
Right.
SNL audience or whatever. So
Well,
once
it
we
fit.
crafted it the right way, it was so good to execute. But yeah, I mean, people have tried to like fuck with my head, I guess, or get competitive with me just because it's, comics are used to that or whatever. But I'm not really a competitive person amongst people I admire for one, and it's not really my energy to try to like establish, alpha shit or whatever. Like I'm just more so like, can we all just, ride the king it and get along? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What does that look like for people who haven't done it? Is it like is it just a tone and energy? Is it a speed thing? Is it body language?
I mean, I just feel like it's irk moments, you know what I'm saying? Where, whether it's they gotta get the last word in or they gotta bring up things that might be bothering you when they know it's bothering you and they're not necessarily offering a solution. They're just kind of like bringing up agitation, you know what I mean? As opposed to like, I'm already aware that that agitation exists. So why don't you try to like distract me with something else kind of thing, and you just don't feel that, you know, brotherhood kind of connection as performers at all. You just kind of feel like, you know, every person for themselves, and that's not really how I get out. You know what I mean? I grew up, you know, in ensembles basically. So we were all lifting each other up to try to get up the mountain, as opposed to like one dude being like, I'm gonna run up there and see what's up there real quick, and I'm gonna send back for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then never come
Right.
back.
Right.